Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, good. Well, I'm so glad to be here. I've been absent without leave for the last few weeks.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you so much, Chuck. And it's good to be able to stand up without grimacing, which may enhance your prayers as well. So I'm also just pleased how beautiful it is out. And we're at that point in the summer where when we start, the sun is already behind the tree, which is better than earlier when we are up here kind of guessing what's going on because it's so sunny. We're going to welcome Shabbat with singing and with praying. We're going to turn to page 130 as it is marked in your Sidurim, and join us in singing Lechu Niranana.
Please join me. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria letzur yishenu, nekad mafana petota. Naria, naria letzur yishenu, bismirot naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai.
And on page 138, you can find Lecha Dodi. And as we customarily do, we'll sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor beribur echad, yishmianu el hamiyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem ol tiferet v'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof maaseh b'machshavat chila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 5. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki va'orech kumi ori, uri, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Ella, please rise, verse 9. Boi v'shalom, ateret kabbalah, gam besimcha uvtzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela.
We continue on page 144 as the cantor leads us through the Chatzi Kaddish, the Reader's Kaddish.
Yitkadal v'kadash shemei Rabbah v'yamad ifrachirote v'yam lich malchute b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael bagala bagala uvizman kari v'himeru amen Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach Le'alam ulal me'amaya Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach V'yitba'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitale V'yitalal shemei dekudesha berichu Le'elam mikol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Tamiran bi'alma v'himeru Amen.
Page 146.
Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Yai la 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 Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
And let's continue together. You can have a seat if you want or remain standing. We're going to stand up in a minute with the Shema. But really, you know, it's Shabbat. If you want to sit down, sit down. On page 148, if you would please join me. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being.
Skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'ma'ariv aravim.
Page 150.
Ahavat olam, Bet Yisrael, Amecha havta, Amecha havta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim משפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. And please join us with the Via Hafta on page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
At the top of page 157 is a prayer that we'll say together before the Michamocha. And it's a wonderful, it was written, I think, in the early 80s, 1980s. And it's a great example of how what happens in the Torah becomes paradigmatic for us in ages that follow and at different scales and units of analysis. So what is true of our people is also true of us as individuals. So in that spirit, please join me. Standing on the
Parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 mi chamocha bailim Adonai mi kamocha nedar bakodesh Kodesh, Nora Tehilot, Osefele, Malechut Charau Vanecha, Bokei Hayam Lifnei Moshe uMiriam, Malchut Charau Vanecha, Bokei Hayam Lifnei Moshe uMiriam, Seili Anu ve'amiru, Adonai Yimloch, Leolam, Leolam Vaed. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. V'ne'emar kifar Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
And please join me in the middle of page 160. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed.
Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
Page 162.
Ve'shamiru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat, ledorotam berit olam, beini uven bnei Yisrael, oti leolam leolam, ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, uvayom hashevi shavat vayinafash.
And on page 164, please rise and join us in the Tefillah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi ki tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei hakol, ve'zocher chastei avot v'imahot, u'mevi geula livnei vneihem, leman shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah rav lehoshia, Morid hatal. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umito melach, Melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'neheman ata lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh b'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. And let's continue together at the top of page 173. May these hours
Of rest and renewal, open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
And then 175. Ever present one, may we, your
people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayers. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yirah na'avod.
And page 177. God of goodness,
we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot.
Page 178.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amecha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amecha tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amecha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amecha tasim leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amecha Yisrael bechol eit uvechol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amecha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amecha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael bat shalom. Blessed are you, Adonai. You bless your people Israel, and God willing, all people everywhere with peace. With such hopes in our hearts, we continue our prayers silently.
Yiul ratzon imrei fi. Yiul ratzon imrei fi. Vegion libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri vegoali. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditations of my heart be acceptable before you. O God, my rock and my redeemer. Ose shalom b'meromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, ve'imru,
I like the birds. If you would, please turn to page 371 in the Siddur, where you can find a modern setting for the traditional Mishaberach for healing. We think especially this Shabbat of the hostages who are still alive, all of those who have been wounded in that region of the world, as well as other regions beset by war. Benjamin, Abi Aharon, Kevin Boland, Dale Bugle, Yosef Carrasco, Iris Cohen, Marianne Eisman, Rivka Fegi Bat Phyllis, Roz Flegel, Leonore Friedman, Arlene Glass, David Goldenholtz, Janet Heller, Lular Hughes, Jennifer Houston, Michelle Jacoby, Michael Johnson, Pat Kester, Rory Langlois, Ben Marcus, Sophia Novakovsky, Katie Pells Davis, Fiona Powell, Bob Ratke, Mosi Ramirez, Scott Rutter, Bill Ross, Martha Ross, Michael Ross, and Sally Ross, Danny Ruderman, Stella Schneider, Gary Siegel, Gary Sinclair, David Steyer, Ricardo Tenorio, Deidre Tischberg, Rabbi Andrea Weiss, Eric Wise, Randy Zeidelman, Ted Tausman, Brucha Bat Rus Benyamin, Ruth Kapnick, Chuck Runnigan, Lindsay Bellows Albert, Brandon Fedrick, Taylor Rubin, Tiona Bat Ozna, Ed Goldstein, Joni Lieberman, Ann Letterman, Rachel Heineman, Ruth Kapnis, Nancy Stillman, Ilana Miriam, Eve Eisman, and Mark Kale. Please join us in the prayer.
Mi shebeach Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Sheberachimotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
This week we've arrived at the final Torah portion of the book of Numbers, also known, that book, as Bimidbar, in the desert. In fact, this week is actually a double portion called Matot Maseh. At first glance, some of it seems bureaucratic. It certainly is not dramatic. No seas parting, no plagues coming down from on high, just a list. This is from the beginning. Moses recorded the starting points of their journeys as directed by the Eternal, and these were their journeys from their starting points. And then, line after line, comes the record, 42 stops in all. Every location where the Israelites camped during their 40 years in the wilderness is named, from Ramses to Sukkot, from the Sea of Reeds to the plains of Moab, 42 places all in all. So why does the Torah include this level of detail? Why not just fast forward to the climax, which is really the entrance into the land of Israel? Because the Torah, in its infinite wisdom, understands something essential. You can't reach where you're going without recognizing where you've been. Or, as I sometimes say tongue-in-cheek about congregational life, process is our most important product. Now, it turns out that these 42 stops are more than just pins on a map. They are filled with memories and milestones and some mistakes. 40 years replete with moments of awe, anger, grief, and celebration. In a text noted for its symbolic numbers, 7 days of creation, 40 days of the flood, 40 days for Moses on Mount Sinai, what exactly is the deal with 42? I asked that question suspecting there might be some of you, particularly those who have read some science fiction over the years. I see a couple of looks already. They already know where I'm going with this. If you read Douglas Adams' The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the number 42 is declared to be, quote, the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. Shabbat shalom. Paradoxically, we really don't find out what the actual question is. Yet Adam's satire points to one of Judaism's central truths. We are always asking big questions, and we are rarely given tidy answers. And still, we keep walking. So maybe it's not coincidental that the Torah lists exactly 42 stops. Because Matot Maseh isn't just recounting a journey. It's reminding us that the journey itself is the answer. Not a single location is skipped, even the most painful ones, like Kivrot HaTa'ava, the graves of craving, where after weeks of complaining about the limited diet of manna in the desert, God caused a huge flock of quail to descend, on which the Israelites gorged themselves, which is followed then by a plague breaking out among them. Because the Torah is telling us that truth-telling is sacred, that our lives, like our people's journeys, are made up of both forward motion and wrong turns, and that every stop, even the ones we regret, sometimes, perhaps especially the ones we regret, have something to teach us. And yet this double portion is not just about memory and map making. In Parashat Matot, we get a glimpse of another side of the Israelite story, one that is much harder to read. It recounts how the Israelites go to war against the Midianites. The narrative is violent, even disturbing. Moses is enraged that the Israelite soldiers have spared the Midianite women and children. What follows is a chilling example of wartime vengeance. It is a profoundly uncomfortable passage, as it well should be. It reminds us that in tough times, the Torah doesn't sanitize the story or spare us the most disturbing details. In this case, it records that our ancestors were not only the victims of violence, at times they were the perpetrators of it. In this case, the Torah does not bring us comfort. Instead, it insists that we engage the Judaism of moral reckoning. And that message feels pretty relevant today. In this moment, we Jews are caught in a tangle of trauma and responsibility, heartbreak and abject horror. We are still reeling from the atrocities of October 7th and the deep trauma suffered by Israeli society. We are still grieving for hostages and praying for their safe return. And at the same time, we are witnessing a staggering loss of life in Gaza, civilians killed, neighborhoods leveled, lives forever embittered. While some of what we see, to be honest, is fake news, photos of starving children not from Gaza but from Turkey 10 years ago, or the rate of people dying from hunger today turns out not to be so different than the rate of children dying from hunger in Gaza 5 years ago. Such propaganda is in no way discounting the very real suffering that is going on. The Torah models for us a more honest approach, a willingness to try to hold it all, to tell the whole truth, to recognize and name both the pain we've suffered as well as the pain we have caused, to record and remember the journey, but not just the victories, but also the failures and the fallout along the way. The Torah, it seems, presents an approach one might say is 100 degrees opposite from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. In Douglas Adams' world, 42 is the answer, but no one seems to know the question. In Judaism, we live the other way around. We are given the questions. What is just? What is kind? What does God require of us? And then we spend our lives trying to craft an answer. In this way, every step, every mistake, every correction, every moment of humility is part of the sacred process of becoming. And what is true of the Israelites' experience in the desert is true for us today in our own lives. We all carry a personal version of those 42 wilderness stops. Decisions we made years ago that we're still grappling with, essential truths we haven't yet fully confronted, and those truths we don't even know are there for us to consider and perhaps in time embrace. The twin portions of Matot and Maseh essentially are saying, don't erase the difficult places we've encountered. Don't skip over them. Instead, recognize them, name them, honor them as opportunities to learn and to grow. Because the path to meaning is not paved with perfection. It's made up of questions and often trying again. And of course, like the Hitchhiker's Guide, the path to meaning often contains a little absurdity. Even so, the Torah insists, and this is the hardest part, that holiness is not found in the arrival, it's found in the walking. Finally, Massey concludes the book of Numbers by turning to the future. As the Israelites prepare to cross into the land of Israel, God commands them to create cities of refuge, places where those who have inadvertently caused harm to others can flee, confess, and find safety. This is a very powerful example of the Torah's wisdom. If you are building a society, be sure to include the possibility of moral repair. Don't pretend people are not going to make mistakes. Instead, plan for it. Don't expect people always to act out of the best motives. Instead, create pathways for accountability. Make sure that there are moments of reckoning. As I consider the situation in Israel currently, as well as right here in these United States, accountability seems to be missing. Without accountability, it's hard to confront moral error in any meaningful way or indefensible conduct. But if we have a mechanism for accountability, it's where we can check the most egregious excesses of outlandish behavior and moral vacuity in our politics, our communities, and even, at times, in our own hearts. Like the ancient cities of refuge, we need places where we can confront the ethical quandaries of our day. Places we can speak hard truths, reach out for common ground, and ultimately establish places where justice and compassion are not at odds, but rather closely aligned. So, should it be asked, yes, 42 is the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. When it comes to Judaism's message, however, the answer cannot be boiled down to a limited, defined product, like a number. Alas, the answer is to be encountered in the journey, in the stories we pass down, and in the reckonings we dare to face. Indeed, maybe the answer is in the journey, the walking step by step itself. Shabbat Shalom. We are going to turn in our Siddurim to, it's here somewhere, the middle of page 586, and please join us if you're comfortable doing so in rising and facing towards Jerusalem.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
The Kaddish Yatom, or Mourner's Kaddish, is on page 598. We think especially, thank you, of Amit Cohen and Vladimir Lutza, both of whom died in the Gaza Strip while fighting for Israel. We remember Leonard Goldstein, who was laid to rest this week. The following, who have members of our congregation saying Kaddish for them in the year following the death: John Phillips, Gene Maxson, Marvin Cohn, Michael Stillman, Sheldon Bankier, Jim McDermott, Beverly Miller, Susan Fran Weber, Sharon Heiken, Sheldon Greenberg, Bob Sametz, Dorothy Schmidt, Susie Gruenberg, Larry Rector, Rhoda Silver, Robert Israel, James Yanni, Leo Weinschall, and Myrna Grossman. And the following whose yahrzeit or yearly anniversary of death falls this week: Clara Arbit, Esther Arnold, Ann Berger, Joel Bilski, Rosemary Bloom, Harry Borstein, Mortimer Borton, Elaine Doyle, Rose Engel, Bernice Fagan, Ben Feld, Susan Foles, Helen Gilman, Catherine Gollin Miller, Molly Halper, Ruth Dorothy Hiller, Leon Harris Hirsch, Elizabeth Israel, Ed Capper, Harold Lerner, Frida Levine, Sylvia Rezepper Mintz, Willard Pollock, Jay Schmidt, Ruth Simon, Arthur Strauss, Arnie Stricken, and Lillian Weiner, or perhaps Weiner. If there are people for whom you are saying Kaddish, friends who have recently departed us, or those whose yahrzeit fall this week, I would ask, whose name I did not mention, I would ask you please to share those names aloud with us at this time. Thank you. We continue with Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach chiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imeru amen. Yehei shemei Rabba mevarach le'alam ol'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudesha b'richu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, toshbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imeru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru, amen.
May the source of peace, who makes peace in the highest heavens, enable us to figure out how to make peace here on earth. May God share with those in mourning a measure of comfort and consolation. And together we say,
Amen.
Please have a seat. Unless you are the board representative giving announcements.
Thought I was going to get off easy there. Shabbat Shalom from the Board of Trustees. I'm Alan Mendeloff. Tonight's Wine and Cheese is sponsored by David Janis in memory of Nathan Janis. Thank you to all those congregants that made contributions this week in honor or memory of their loved ones. Contributions are listed in the e-news. Upcoming events, quite a few here. Come join us each Friday in the summer for beautiful outdoor Shabbat experience. Wine and Cheese begins at 5:30 and 6 p.m. for the Shabbat service. Live stream is available through the e-news. That's the link in the e-news. Should there be inclement weather, notification of service location will be in the Friday e-news no later than 3 p.m. Sinai Brotherhood Softball, Coach Mike right here. Come cheer on the team to victory Tuesday nights. It's a great way to see a game and hang out with fellow congregants. We're currently 9-3 and look forward to and look at the e-news again for dates and times and locations. Join us Sunday, August 17th for our Sinai Summer Concert. The Love and Kind will perform, and there will be food and beer from Sinai Brewing. Tickets can be purchased through the e-news. I should just have everybody, if I point, you say the e-news. Okay. To those families with school-age children, registration is now open. Please register through the link in the e-news. Thank you. Okay. Support the Social Justice Committee by purchasing apple cakes for the High Holy Days, regular and gluten-free available. The sale runs until September 7th, but don't wait to order. Look to place your order. The Women of Sinai Book Club is reading Cantica by Elizabeth Graver. Please join them for the last book club meeting of the year, not in the E-News, July 31st at 7 p.m. at Robin's house. I don't know Robin. Everybody else does. Okay, thank you. Mark your calendars for a Tisha B'Av observance on August 7th at 7 p.m. here at Sinai. We will be joining in community with Congregation Shalom, Congregation Emmanuel B'nai Jeshurun, and Congregation Emmanuel of Waukesha. More information will be available in the upcoming, save the date, Friday, August 29th. The softball Shabbat and barbecue is brought to you by the Brotherhood softball team. Small editorial here in case you don't think that's a magic evening. I met my wife there, 16 years ago. All right. This very patio, right? Okay. We have had a very positive initial response to the Covenant campaign, with over 20 families stepping up to the sustainer level already. We hope you will join our community in this important endeavor. Any questions can be directed to Josh Parks or Alan Mendeloff at any time. At the end of this evening's service, please help us be a Kehila Kadosha, a holy community, by picking up trash around you, putting your service book on the card, and if you're able, help us bring your chairs to the chair rack. For information on any programming, please refer to the Tuesday and Friday Sinai. For information, registration, live stream, and Zoom links, thank you and Shabbat Shalom.
You know, I take a couple of weeks off and look what happens. You've got trained seals here in the congregation. I would like to ask Jenny Goldbaum to light candles this evening in honor of her daughter's magnificent wedding that took place right over there last Saturday evening. And I want to make a suggestion to any of you who are, already thinking about the high holidays, or scratch that, are thinking about Tisha B'Av. There's a fabulous book that you should get a hold of. It is called This Is Real, and You Are Completely Unprepared. It's by Rabbi Alan Liu of blessed memory, someone I knew back in the Bay Area. And it traces the arc of all of the fall holidays, but not starting with Rosh Hashanah or Selichot, starting with Tisha B'Av. I think we have some copies in our library, and if not, I am sure you can find other copies other places, but much worth a look in preparation. On page 123 in the Siddur is the text for the Friday evening Kiddush. If you would like to join us, please do, and please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikrai kodesh zeicher yitziat mitzrayim ki vanu אותנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת לחיים.
And it's here somewhere. Please join us in the motzi over this mini challah, with the knowledge that upstairs on the tables you will find challah there, as well as a little grape product if you'd like to follow up after having said the blessing. Are we asking people to help with the chairs and stuff? You did? Okay, great. Please join us.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.